Hey, TGIF, CJ Curry back with another Prize Picks video. I hope you guys have something wonderful lined up to do this weekend. I'm back after what was a pretty strong showing yesterday. Technically speaking, we did hit the over on Obi Toppin. We did hit the over on Damian Lillard. But the Giannis Antetokounmpo pick was a little bit controversial. Let's talk about why. But before we do that, guys, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, and share this channel, share this video with somebody you know that plays player props. I think we've been doing a very fantastic job here. And you guys did a fantastic job yesterday sharing the channel, sharing the video with a lot of people because we went over 17,000 subscribers yesterday. Pretty freaking impressive. Again, I can't do it without you guys. We're shooting for 20,000 by January 1st. That'll be my 3-year anniversary right here on YouTube. So let's see if you and I can make that happen. Quick recap on yesterday's picks. Obi Toppin went over 15.5 points and rebounds pretty easily. Even if you took the bump at 16.5 rebounds, he cleared that without much effort. Second pick was Damian Lillard over 4.5 rebounds. I had somebody in the comment section say, dude, what the F? How did you know that Damian Lillard was going to go for 4.5 rebounds? I didn't. In fact, I don't know anything. I'm just using data to help me with the decision making. Data and projections. Man, it goes a long way. And then the third and final pick was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now listen, by the time I uploaded the video, for some reason, PrizePicks pulled Giannis down at 50.5 PRA. He did not go over 50.5 PRA, but because that was pulled down, it was actually a blessing in disguise. I swung over to our Eyes on the Prize Dub Club Discord, and I discorded the people. I sent a message out. I said, hey, pivot over to the Giannis points and rebounds at 44.5 since they wanted to go ahead and pull the PRA down. And so we did, and we ended up having a sweep, but only if you're a Dub Club member. So Dub Club members did sweep YouTube picks yesterday. Unfortunately, though, like I mentioned, Giannis did not clear the PRA. He was one bucket away, one basket from going over 50.5 PRA. But anyway, if you're not a Dub Club member and you want to sign up and be a part of the community and get in on picks like Giannis over points and rebounds, well, hey, 67 cents per day. I'm posting winning picks daily, 20 bucks a month. Really isn't all that bad. You win one $10 two-pick power play, and Dub Club has paid for itself. If it's not already paid for. I mean, your Dub Club should essentially be free just based off the picks that I've been posting to these YouTube videos. I'm just saying your membership's already been paid for. But let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the PrizePicks board. Guys, if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, promo code Curry still gets you that 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $100. They're going to match you dollar for dollar, making your first entry on PrizePicks completely risk-free. I've left a link down in the description. Use code Curry. Get started playing on PrizePicks now. Not later, but right now, okay? Taking a look at this PrizePicks board today. Looking for early value. We're going to be using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer as we typically do to try to locate that value. The Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is a fantastic tool. Let me show you why. Let's get into it. At the top of the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer today, Julius Randle. You're going to see a lot of different Julius Randle props in this video. I'm going to talk about two specific ones, his rebounds and assists. Both of these at this hour, which is going on 4 a.m. Yeah, I know. I'm working the graveyard shift, gang. I'm going in hard for you guys. Pause. Julius Randle over 8.5 rebounds, though, a 53.7% chance of him going for 9 or more boards. Or hear me out, you could also take Julius Randle over 13.5 rebounds and assists. This one's got over a 53% chance to hit as well. So both of these are plus EV plays, meaning the juice, the odds are in our favor for the over on either one. So let's take a look at both of them. We're going to be using props.cash to help us visualize what Julius Randle has done here, both in the rebound and rebound plus assist department this season. And when we take a look at Julius Randle's rebounds, we got a solid hit rate here, gang. 20 games that he's appeared in, 20 games that he's taken the floor for New York. He's gone over 13 out of 20 games. That's a 65% hit rate. He's averaging nearly 10 rebounds per game. So I think this line's just a touch just a touch too low. Maybe it should be 9, maybe it should be 9.5 as he takes on the Boston Celtics. Speaking of Boston, in head-to-head matchups versus the Celtics over the last 2 seasons, well, dang. This season and the last, Julius Randle has gone over 8.5 boards pretty consistently here. I mean, you take a look at these games from just this season, which are these two on the right, you see that he's had 11 and 9 rebounds against the Boston Celtics, respectively. And then going back to last season, he hit the over 9 or more rebounds in 3 out of 4 games against the C's. So I think Julius Randle's looking like a pretty swell option for more than 8.5 rebounds. But as I mentioned, you could also take the rebounds and assists. So if one of these gets bumped, well, then you could go ahead and jump over to the other one. Take a look at his rebounds and assists. They're at 13.5, and gang, the hit rates are even sweeter when you look at the rebounds plus assists. Again, 20 games he's appeared in, he's cleared the over in 14 out of 20. That's a 70% hit rate, averaging 15.4 rebounds plus assists per game this season. And you can see what he's done here over the last dozen games or so. He's gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of his last 11. He's been hot, guys. Averaging 15.7 rebounds and assists in his last 10 games. So how's he fared against Boston? Well, this season, he's done a lot better against the Celtics than he has in previous seasons. At 13.5 rebounds and assists versus Boston this season, he's actually 2 for 2. 2 green beans in his freaking game log, guys. 18 rebounds and assists back on October 25th and 14 rebounds and assists more recently. That was in the middle of November. So I would say that Julius Randle is a swell option for either the rebounds or the rebounds and assists. So now that we know that they're plus EV plays, they've got good hit rates, they've got good head-to-head historical hit rates. Let's take a look at some projection models. I'm going to be looking at Fantasy Labs. I'm also going to be taking a look at some of these other projection models, RotoWire and NumberFire. Starting off here, looking at Julius Randle first and foremost for the rebounds. He's projected for 9.8 boards over on Fantasy Labs. But if you're thinking about taking the rebounds and assists, well, good news. He's projected for 15.1 rebounds and assists. So very good projections for Julius Randle, either which way you want to go. Taking a look at a second projection for Randle, his rebounds on RotoWire, 10.64. That is 2 projected rebounds higher than his line of 8.5. And then the rebounds and assists are right underneath that one, projected for 15.74 rebounds and assists. So really strong projections for Julius Randle early on today, which makes him a fine pick either for more rebounds or more rebounds and assists. Now, if you think he struggles against Boston, I mean, hey, you could just go ahead and fade it. I probably would not consider taking the under on either one of these options. It would be either an over or just leave it alone and walk away, my friends. All right, taking a look at the next pick. It's Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons. He's taken on the Orlando Magic. He's at 3.5 rebounds. So let's swing things back over here to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer and punch in Killian Hayes' name. Now, I also considered taking Killian Hayes for under 10.5 points, but I'm going to go with the under on the 3.5 rebounds because it is slightly more optimal. It's the higher plus EV play out of the points or the rebounds. So 53.4% chance, let's just round it up a little bit and call it that he stays under 3.5 rebounds. You see the juice on these sports books. A lot of these sports books, the odds are on the under for Killian Hayes. They think he's going to collect 3 or fewer rebounds versus the Orlando Magic. Again, though, the points, not a bad look. I mean, you've already got FanDuel here. They got Killian Hayes at 9.5 points. We know how this goes, gang. PrizePicks be bumping, and I think PrizePicks might end up moving Killian Hayes down from 10.5 points to 10 or possibly 9.5 at some point. I'm just saying. Keep your eye on that one. But let's look at some of the game logs here for Killian Hayes here. So here's the power of a tool like Props.Cash. I want to demonstrate this for you because a lot of you still aren't using Props.Cash, and I don't know why not. It's pretty cheap. I think it's $20 a month. And you can even get 25% off your first month when you use code Curry. So I've left a link down in the description below. Go get yourself 25% off your first month of Props.Cash. But here's what I've done with Props.Cash in this case. Pretty neat tool. I've included games where Cade Cunningham has played. I've included games where Isaiah Stewart has played. And I've included games where Jalen Duren has not played because he's expected to be out tonight for Detroit. So when you take a look at just those games with those players in and Jalen Duren out, you got a total of 6 games here. And in those 6 games, Mr. Killian Hayes has gone under his rebound line of 3.5 boards in 5 out of 6. He's only gone over in 1 out of 6. He's averaging a paltry, pathetic 2.2 rebounds per game in those games with said players in and or out. So, yeah, I think this looks like a pretty good move for the under. What do you guys think? And especially when you consider the matchup, right? Orlando, they rank first in total rebounds allowed to opposing teams, meaning no other team in the NBA is giving up fewer rebounds per game to opposing teams than this Orlando Magic squad. So it's going to be a tough matchup on paper for Killian Hayes. Now, let's go take a look at some projections. Starting with Fantasy Labs. Just want to show you guys what Killian Hayes is projecting for. This is not me pulling numbers out of my butt. This is us relying on projection models, relying on data to make our decisions. And it's worked out really well for us thus far. Over an 80% hit rate on the picks posted to these videos in the last several videos. So looking at this projection, 2.9 projected rebounds for Hayes. They got him right around 3 boards, 3 or fewer, and we get paid. This will be a green bean in our PrizePicks entry. Taking a look at the second projection for Killian Hayes. He's over here on RotoWire at just 2.76 rebounds tonight. And I mentioned the points. You could go points as well. His points are pretty low at 7.28 on RotoWire. So either which way, I think Killian Hayes looks like an under option in a lot of different ways. Plus, they just got Bojan Bogdanovic back, so I think that's going to impact Hayes negatively. But anyway, a third projection, if you really, really want it, Killian Hayes projected for just 3.2 rebounds. This is Number Fire. Number Fire is a free site where you can go get projections for everything from fantasy score to your favorite single stat player props. So check out Number Fire as a free source of player projections. But anyway, for me, Killian Hayes, I think, would be an under or less option at 3.5 boards. Now, this last pick, I'm not telling you to go take this pick right now, but I want you to keep an eye on this pick. It's Jrue Holiday at 17.5 points and assists. Now, the reason I'm telling you to keep an eye on this, Kristaps Porzingis is expected to play. He's been out the last few games, but the big question is not really whether or not he's going to play, but how much he's going to play. How many minutes is Kristaps Porzingis going to get? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Jrue Holiday at 17.5 points and assists with Kristaps Porzingis in the lineup, along with Tatum, Brown, White, etc. He has not done a great job, has Jrue Holiday, of going over 17.5 points and assists. In fact, he's gone under in 8 out of 11 games, meaning he's only gone over in 36% of the games with all of the aforementioned players healthy and active for Boston. Now, making things even nicer here are his head-to-head matchups with the Knicks. With all of those guys that we just mentioned active and in the lineup, Jrue Holiday has faced New York twice this season, posting 11 and 16 points and assists against Boston in both of those head-to-head matchups thus far. So he is an under option for me if Kristaps Porzingis is healthy and if Kristaps is not limited in any type of way. And then you kind of just go a little bit further here and look at the matchup. New York, obviously a very tough defensive team. They rank 3rd in points allowed, giving up only 107.5 points per game to opposing teams. There's only 2 teams in the league allowing fewer points per game than New York. And then you take a look at the assists that they give up per game, under 25 assists allowed per game. There's only 5 teams giving up fewer assists per game to opposing point guards than the New York Knicks. So it's a tough matchup. It's a matchup where Jrue Holiday's went under a lot more often than he's went over. But again, this is a wait and see, because as of right now, it is not a plus EV play. In fact, the juice is slightly over on the 17.5 points and assists. But I think this line could come toppling down. It could flip. It could end up becoming a betting favorite to go under if Kristaps Porzingis is playing. without any limitations. But I want to show you some projections on this because there were some sweet looking projections for this play early on. Starting things off here with Fantasy Labs, they've got him projected for 16.6 points and assists, putting him under 17.5. And then just looking at RotoWire once again, RotoWire's got him at 17 points and assists, putting him under the 17.5 number. So that's just one to kind of keep your eye on. Right now, the lean would be for the under, unless we get some kind of news that Kristaps Porzingis is going to have a minutes restriction. Maybe he won't play as many minutes, and that could impact Jrue Holiday and the rest of the Boston Celtics. But that's what we have. That's what I dug up. Julius Randle, 8.5 rebounds, or Julius Randle, 13.5 rebounds and assists. You could also take Killian Hayes at 3.5 rebounds, and Jrue Holiday as a wait and see. Let's wait for the Kristaps Porzingis news. But if Porzingis is in and active and not on a minutes restriction, then I'm smacking less on Jrue Holiday. What do you think of these picks? Is the researching? Are you feeling them? Are you not? I love to get your comments down in the comments section below. Drop a pick that you're liking. Maybe you don't like any of these picks, but you got your eyes on something else. I'd love to get your feedback and comments. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, enabling notifications, and sharing, because sharing is caring, guys. We're doing the Lord's work here on these YouTube videos. So good luck on all your entries, and we'll see you later for a live stream at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to chop it up live right here on YouTube with you guys, all right? Until then, peace.